5-day stay is recommended for best results. Book now at yo1.com.
WION, India's global voice, the channel that brings you the biggest stories from across the world through India's lens. Now available in more than 190 countries worldwide. Because we believe that the world is one. Watch us in Africa, Europe, USA and Canada, South America, Asia Pacific, Middle East and North African regions. Also available on these digital platforms across the world. WION, World is One. From the bustling trading floors of Wall Street to the vibrant exchanges of Asian stock markets, WION breaks it down for you to make sense of what's happening. As we reveal the key factors behind events, strategic battles, and the game-changing business decisions that shape the world. We bring you all of this and more on World Business Watch.
Everyone loves a contest. But sport isn't just about victory and defeat. When the GOATs in sport speak, you hear it first on WION.
You have to play good cricket over a period of time.
I should push myself right out of the damn tournament.
We go beyond the stats. Our stories are quoted the world over.
At WION, sport is part of our DNA. Come, join us on this journey. Weekdays 6:30 p.m. IST, 1 p.m. GMT.
Ananya Datta and welcome to this edition of Race to Power. Let's start talking about people, power and politics. A second assassination attempt on Donald Trump, fluctuating popularity polls are all adding to the pre-election drama in the United States. The elections are turning out to be one for the ages. Over in India, New Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal is taking chances in the people's mandate. After promising to resign on Tuesday, the Aam Aadmi Party is busy trying to figure out one thing: who will keep the seat warm for Arvind Kejriwal? Starting with the latest coming in from US politics, former President Donald Trump is safe after the Secret Services foiled what the FBI called an apparent assassination attempt on the Republican nominee. Our next story details how Trump survived another attempt on his life and the questions surrounding the security of the former president.
Another heart-stopping moment that could have altered the course of American politics. Donald Trump found himself at the center of a thwarted assassination attempt while the Republican leader was enjoying a round of golf at his Trump International Golf Club in Florida. The incident, which unfolded with frightening speed, saw the Secret Service agents engage a suspected gunman who hid himself in the dense foliage surrounding the course.
Now, in the bushes where this guy was is a AK-47 style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks which were hung on the fence that had ceramic tile in them, and a GoPro, which he was going to take pictures of.
Secret Service agents stationed at the golf club in West Palm Beach spotted the threat and acted swiftly. While Trump wasn't within immediate range, the distance, estimated at 300 to 500 yards, was enough to pose a serious danger. Armed with a scope, the shooter could have easily taken a shot had he not been intercepted in time.
Well, I missed the stop. I was on the way from home, of course. It sounded very tense on the radio. We knew that we had a bolo, be on the lookout for somebody who had opened fire on the President of the United States. I would say there's probably not a more volatile, potentially dangerous situation than that. Our units were completely locked on. We were ready to go.
The suspect has been identified as Ryan Wesley Ruth. The 58-year-old has been a strong supporter of Ukraine amid the ongoing war with Russia. Listen in to what he said in Kiev 2 years back.
Putin is a terrorist, and he needs to be ended. So we need everybody from around the globe to stop what they're doing and come here now and support the Ukrainians to end this war.
How the suspect, a man with no known direct ties to Trump, knew that the former president would be at that specific location remains a key question. This harrowing event in Florida marks the second attempt on Trump's life in recent months, following a previous incident where he sustained a minor injury during a campaign rally. The frequency of these threats raises serious questions about the adequacy of security measures for presidential candidates, particularly in the heated run-up to the November 5 election. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
And to take this further, we are being joined by Robert Y. Shapiro, Professor of Political Science and in the School of International and Public Affairs, Columbia University from New York. Professor, thank you so much for joining us here on WION.
Thank you for inviting me.
Professor, first things first, as grave as the situation is, a second assassination attempt on Donald Trump, how do you think this is going to affect the polling, if at all it will?
At this point, I don't think that will have any effect on the polling. What it does, of course, it puts Donald Trump further in the limelight, and in terms of a great deal of additional media attention that he might not have otherwise have gotten. But I don't see at this point that having an effect on the polling.
All right, we're going to get into the latest opinion polls coming in after our chat. But as things stand right now, post the debate, the pollings are a little more in favor of Kamala Harris. What is your assessment?
Well, when Kamala Harris got the nomination, what that did was it injected great enthusiasm among the Democratic Party and its supporters, replacing her with Joe Biden. The announcement had a big effect, and then the convention had a further effect. And what we have right now is a very close election. It looks like a repeat of 2016 or 2020, where it will come down to a small number of votes in the key states for the Electoral College.
Also, Professor, we have seen 2 assassination attempts, as we just discussed, on Donald Trump. In the middle of the election year, the Democratic candidate was changed. Have you seen an election like this in the near future, or in the near past?
No, I've never seen anything like that in all my time as a political observer. This is really very extraordinary. There have been surprises repeatedly, and there could be even further surprises before the election.
Right. Also, who to ask better than you? What does that also tell about the psyche of the American voters, given how split the country is?
Well, I mean, the split in the country is really quite extraordinary. The level of partisan conflict and polarization was actually high before Donald Trump entered the scene. And once he came on the scene, it basically heightened that conflict even further. And he interjected a further level of emotions into the election and changed some of the norms in electoral politics in many ways in terms of the nature of political rhetoric and the idea of potentially inciting political violence.
All right, Professor Shapiro, thank you so much for joining us here on WION and getting us your insights.
Thank you.
All right, US politics continues to show why a week is a long time in politics. All of this is happening when both nominees are on their home run to the White House. So we look at how American mood is changing because of these events. The first one is a poll of polls collated by 538 polling organizations. The following data is since the time President Joe Biden withdrew and then Kamala Harris joined the race. While the numbers show an almost equal split across the American voters, which is exactly what we were talking with our guest, Professor Shapiro, we also see how major events affect the voter sentiment. Like on July 21st, Biden withdrew from the race and Harris managed to not only get ahead of Trump, she has also widened the gap. Then, after the Democratic National Convention on August 22nd, Harris saw a boost in her polling, and the September 10th debate saw a boost in both nominees' polling numbers. It stands at 48% today for Harris and 45.4% for Trump. A new poll that is specific to the state of Iowa shows that Trump is leading. But what's interesting is that Vice President Kamala Harris has managed to slim the margin to 4 percentage points. This margin is far slimmer than the 18-point lead while President Joe Biden was running. The latest poll comes after a national polling over the weekend where Yahoo News YouGov poll suggests a significant shift, showing Harris leading Trump by 5 percentage points among registered voters. This marked her biggest lead yet. The new poll was conducted shortly after September 10th debate. It reveals Harris garnering 50% of the vote in a head-to-head matchup against Trump. And the former president stands at 45%. This is also Kamala Harris's best showing before the debate was a narrow 47% to 46% lead that was in August. The last time Iowa voted in blue was while Barack Obama was running for the office. Let's shift focus to India now. Fresh twists and turns have emerged in the upcoming landmark Jammu and Kashmir assembly elections. The Ittihad party has forged an alliance with the Jamaat-e-Islami candidates for the upcoming assembly elections. And an AIP leader from the Pulwama constituency has jumped ship to the National Conference Party. Our special correspondent Idris Lone gets you a report.
The Awami Ittihad Party and Jamaat-e-Islami have come together to go into a pre-poll alliance, and they are calling it a strategic alliance to champion the cause of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. While Jamaat is fighting electoral politics after 4 long decades, the Awami Ittihad Party, or AIP, is also fielding candidates across the valley for the first time. A joint meeting of the AIP delegation was led by Member of Parliament Engineer Rashid, while the JEI delegation was led by Qadir Wani. Following deliberations, it was agreed that AIP would support JEI-backed candidates in Kulgam and Pulwama. Similarly, JEI will support AIP candidates across Kashmir in areas where both AIP and JEI have fielded candidates. The alliance has agreed to a friendly contest, particularly in constituencies like Langet, Devsar and Zainapura.
We had a meeting with Jamaat members in Srinagar, and after the meeting, we have given a joint statement that we will support each other in places where they have fielded candidates, and they will help us where our candidates are fighting. This decision has been taken only to unite together and fight against oppression.
Meanwhile, former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Omar Abdullah, has criticized the alliance of Jamaat members with Awami Ittehad Party. The National Conference has alleged that these alliances are being formed at the behest of BJP, who want to divide the vote in the valley.
The wires are connected somewhere else. They are getting direction from somewhere else. They are puppets who are being run from somewhere else. They have been put in the field to target the National Conference, and the National Conference is all set and ready to face them.
While Awami Ittehad Party and Jamaat have come together to fight the assembly elections, it has created a new challenge for the established regional political parties like NC and PDP. The upcoming polls are the first in a decade and 5 years since the region's special status was repealed.
Engineer Rashid's release was already a challenge for the political parties in Jammu and Kashmir, and by forging an alliance with Jamaat-e-Islami members, the challenge has doubled, especially for the parties like National Conference and PDP. And now it's the people who will decide who they want as their representative in the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly. With video journalist Feroz Idris Loan for WION World is One.
Now on Sunday, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal made a massive revelation when he announced his impending resignation from the post. On Tuesday, September 17th, the big question now is, who will be the capital's next Chief Minister? Earlier in the evening, top leaders of Aam Aadmi Party gathered at the Chief Minister's residence. State ministers including Saurabh Bharadwaj, Atishi, Kailash Gehlot and others arrived to discuss crucial matters following the shocking revelation by Arvind Kejriwal. As per the latest reports, the party has decided to convene a meeting of all members of the Legislative Assembly at Kejriwal's residence tomorrow morning. Following the meeting, Arvind Kejriwal will be meeting Delhi's Lieutenant Governor at 4:30 p.m. local time. The Chief Minister is likely to tender his resignation then. Now, the Aam Aadmi Party chief had called for early elections to be held in the state. In a public address, Kejriwal had called on rival political parties to contest elections next month instead of the February next year, stating that he will return as the Chief Minister if people of Delhi give him the mandate. So amid a flurry of all meetings and statements, the billion-dollar question remains, who will fill in for Arvind Kejriwal? As per reports and sources, several names appear to be making the rounds, but two names emerge on top of the list. Gopal Rai and Kailash Gehlot. While Rai is the Cabinet Minister for Environment, Forest and Wildlife Development and General Administration, Gehlot holds several portfolios including transport, revenue, home affairs, women and child development, among others. Staying with India, after days of standoff between protesting doctors and West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, the two sides appear to have agreed on a common ground. After 4 failed attempts, a meeting between the doctors and the Chief Minister is currently underway. Just a short while back, 30 representatives of the doctors' body arrived for a meeting to put forward their demands. In the past 30 days, the state of West Bengal has seen over 300 rallies after horrific rape and murder of a female trainee doctor came to life. Protesting doctors have listed out a slew of demands, including a safer work environment at hospitals, and this is a developing story, and we will keep you updated on the outcome of the meeting. According to a statement issued by the doctors' body earlier, the junior doctors had agreed to drop their demands of video recording and live streaming the meeting. However, the agitating doctors have demanded that minutes of the meeting with Mamata Banerjee, the Chief Minister, be recorded by both the parties for the sake of transparency. West Bengal Chief Secretary has agreed to the demand, stating that both parties will sign the minutes and copies will be shared with each side. Meanwhile, the probe agency CBI has made some allegations with respect to the trainee doctor's rape and murder at RG Kaur Hospital and Medical College on August 9th. The Central Bureau of Investigation has claimed that there could be a bigger conspiracy in the rape and murder case. CBI made the claim while seeking custody of ex-principal and RG Kaur Medical and the station house officer who initially probed the case. The Central Probe Agency has slapped fresh charges against Sandeep Ghosh, the former principal of RG Kaur Medical College and Hospital, naming him as a key conspirator in the rape and murder case. The body of a trainee doctor was found in a seminar hall of the hospital on August 9th. The CBI alleged that Ghosh and local police station in charge, Abhijit Mondal, were involved in disturbing the crime scene, tampering with evidence, violating official rules, criminal conspiracy and misleading investigators. The political drama following Venezuela's contested elections is far from over. Over the weekend, top Venezuelan leaders accused the United States of attempting to destabilize the country. Venezuela's Interior and Justice Minister accused American intelligence body, the CIA, of heading a plot to assassinate President Nicolás Maduro.
La CIA está al frente de esta operación.
The CIA is leading this operation, and that does not surprise us. But they, the National Intelligence Center of Spain, have always maintained a low profile, knowing that the CIA operates in this area. These two detainees even tell us about a group of mercenaries they are looking for to bring to Venezuela with very clear objectives to assassinate President Nicolás Maduro, Vice President Delcy Rodriguez, myself and another group of comrades who are leading our party and our revolution.
Nicolás Maduro, a la vicepresidenta Delcy Rodriguez.
However, Washington has refuted these accusations. On Sunday, U.S. State Department spokesperson denied any involvement in the alleged plot. However, U.S. authorities have confirmed that an American military official has been detained in Venezuela. As per reports, 2 other U.S. citizens have also been detained in the Latin American nation. The rebuttal comes after Venezuelan authorities revealed they had arrested 6 foreign nationals, including 3 American, 2 Spaniards and a Czech citizen. Officials also said that they had seized 400 rifles allegedly meant for terrorist activities. The government has claimed these rifles came from the US, and like the US, Spain has rejected allegations of its involvement in any attempt to destabilize Maduro's government. However, an official reaction is awaited from the Czech Republic authorities. Amid the latest twist in a long-drawn standoff between Maduro and the Western nations, EU Foreign Affairs Chief Josep Borrell has once again emphasized that the European Union does not recognize Maduro as the legitimate president of Venezuela.
We do not recognize Maduro as having democratic legitimacy because we do not recognize him as having won these elections, just as we did not recognize him as having won the previous ones. He has de facto power, yes, but we do not recognize him as a legitimate ruler, and therefore we do not recognize him as a ruler who has democratically obtained power.
Moving on now, double trouble for Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau as the Parliament is set to resume shortly. The leader might potentially face a litmus test in Parliament as early as today and by elections in regions that were a Liberal stronghold till now. On Wednesday last week, opposition leader Pierre Poilievre said that his party is planning a no-confidence motion against Trudeau. Poilievre said that the motion will be passed at the earliest possible opportunity in an attempt to bring down the Liberal government. As the Parliament resumes in a few hours, it remains to be seen if the motion is tabled today. The Conservative leader had earlier called on the leader of New Democratic Party, Jagmeet Singh, to support the motion and trigger an election. The move comes after Singh broke ties with Trudeau's Liberal government last week, putting the coalition in threat. Meanwhile, Trudeau is currently trailing in a key Montreal constituency, which was a stronghold of the Liberals. Recent surveys show a close fight among the Liberals, the Quebec Nationalist Bloc, Quebecois, and the left-leaning New Democratic Party. Going across to Pakistan now, the government has delayed tabling of a controversial constitutional amendment bill reportedly due to lack of numbers to pass it. The bill aims at extending the retirement age of superior judges. It will extend the tenure of the Chief Justice of Pakistan, Qazi Faiz Isa, and also reshape the judiciary structure. As the government scrambled for the required two-third majority in the National Assembly, it was a day of scheduling and rescheduling meetings. In a desperate search to find the numbers to get the bill passed, all roads led to Jamaat Ulema-e-Islam Fazl Chief Maulana Fazlur Rahman's house. But after the National Assembly session was adjourned, Defence Minister Khwaja Asif spoke to the reporters. Asif admitted that the JUIF president had not agreed to the government's proposal, adding that they were engaging with political parties to develop consensus. He said that the required numbers for the constitutional amendment had not been achieved, and that is why the session was adjourned. It was then scheduled again today at 12:30 p.m. Earlier, the government had claimed that they have the required support in the Assembly, but the bill was delayed multiple times on Sunday. The National Assembly session, which was initially scheduled for 11:30 a.m., was later rescheduled to 4 p.m. and then pushed to 10 p.m. As the government and the opposition maneuvered around the amendment, the focus shifted to the number game in the National Assembly. During high-stakes interactions, the JUIF chief made it clear that all parties, including Imran Khan-led PTI, must be taken into confidence about this constitutional amendment for the bill to be passed. The coalition government needs 224 votes out of the 336 seats in the National Assembly. The PPP and the PMLN, along with other coalition allies, hold 212 seats, leaving them 12 votes short without the support of the JUIF, making up the deficit in a hard nut. Opposition parties led by the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf are opposed to any move that extends the tenure of the Chief Justice. The PTI has alleged that the move is meant to block the appointment of Justice Mansoor Ali Shah as the CJP after Isa's retirement. Increasing the age of retirement of Supreme Court judges to 68 would delay Justice Shah's tenure for 3 years. He will become the Chief Justice only after 3 more years of the current Chief Justice's term are over. With that, we are wrapping up this edition of Race to Power. Thanks for watching with me, Ananya Datta.
The Earth is sending distress signals. Wildfires, droughts, and melting glaciers. Can we reverse the damage? Explore the harrowing effects of climate change. It's a wake-up call. Global emergency. Climate Tracker on WION World is One.
YO1 Health Resort is unique, the only one of its kind. Experience the 4 paths of natural wellness: yoga, Ayurveda, acupuncture, and naturopathy. Each uniquely customized program improves the whole person to make every person whole. Come to YO1 Health Resort. Make your reservation at yo1.com.
Namaste. Hello friends. We did Dr. Subhash Chandra show, popularly known as DSC show, for 4 years, from August 2014 to August 2018. 28 states of Bharat. Of course, we reached out to all of you in 190 countries across the world. The show was very successful. Each episode was being watched by almost 25 million people every week. For past 6 years, the demand of the show has never died down. People write to us, people ask for the show to restart again. Hence, we are beginning the show once again on All Z Network, also on WION, which is the global network channel from India, Again, thank you for your love and affection. See you soon at Subhash Chandra Show.
To bring the benefits of the Subhash Chandra Show to your educational institution, teachers and students, send an invitation to Juhi Jha at juhi@such.org.in.
Know more, understand better, think ahead. Hello and a very warm welcome. You are watching Gravitas with me, Molly Gambhir. Get the facts, not the bombast. On the 26th of March, dynamic pricing, Baloch separatists, Gravitas cuts out the clutter. Gravitas keeps calm when others scream. Gravitas brings news to life. Weekdays, 9 p.m. IST, 3:30 p.m. GMT. Gravitas. Seeing is believing.
WION, India's global voice, the channel that brings you the biggest stories from across the world through India's lens. Now available in more than 190 countries worldwide. Because we believe that the world is one. Watch us in Africa, Europe, USA and Canada, South America, Asia Pacific, Middle East and North African regions. Also available on these digital platforms across the world. WION, world is one.
From the bustling trading floors of Wall Street to the vibrant exchanges of Asian stock markets, WION breaks it down for you to make sense of what's happening. As we reveal the key factors behind events, strategic battles, and the game-changing business decisions that shape the world. We bring you all of this and more on World Business Watch.
Hello there, time now for Fine Print on WION World is One. We're glad you're watching. Thank you very much for joining us at this hour. I'm Eric Njoka. The headlines. President Joe Biden says U.S. Secret Service needs more personnel to perform its duties after a second apparent assassination attempt against Republican election candidate Donald Trump. President Masoud Pezeshkian says Iran could hold direct talks with the United States if Washington demonstrates in practice that it is not hostile to the Islamic Republic. Gaza medics and rescuers say Israeli strikes on several homes killed at least 18 people as Hamas claims it had ample resources to sustain its fight nearly a year into the war. Residents of several areas of Poland and the Czech Republic rushes to evacuate as others in Central Europe began cleaning up after the worst flooding in over 2 decades left a trail of destruction and a rising number of deaths. In a critical legal showdown, TikTok and its parent company ByteDance will challenge a potential ban on the app. They argue the law is unconstitutional and threatens free speech, potentially impacting 170 million US users if enacted. The Indian men's hockey team reaches the final of the Asian Champions Trophy after a comprehensive 4-1 win over South Korea. The defending champions will